The Chronos Shield deployment. As the New World Order drew its borders, the Western Vanguard initialized an impenetrable temporal dome.
And the defensive loop was absolute. They didn't rely on physical armor. They anchored a non-linear chronological field direct.
The shield sequence initialized. A supreme electromagnetic power wave released across the valley, prepared to distort physical momentum.
But the Empire of Soot refused to stay locked out. Out of the frozen woods charged the siege crawlers.
Barrier breached. A devastating chemical assault hitting the shield dome.
The shield grid is fracturing. The toxic fallout has penetrated our primary core containment loops. We are losing temporal stabilization across Quadrant 7.
Total collision in the snow. The electric resistance forces can quet Kekdilo of dust, fighting with raw fury to hold the central shield nodes. Chemistry does not negotiate. The Overlord's machines dissolved their advanced alloys like ice in an apocalyptic toxic winter. Kinetic impact. The sky answered with the wrath of a split atom, crushing the industrial stronghold into a flat mirror of glass.
My fortress is broken. The orbital grid is active. Release the final subterranean reserves. If they want this planet, then we will poison the ice.
Main core is poisoned. A toxic alternative history legacy raised to choke the new world before the Matrix can ever expand.
The victory was an illusion. The entire Martian water table has been permanently locked under a chemical shadow. The colony is blinded.
When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a total, cosmic stalemate. The Chronos Shield locks the timeline, but the chemical siege threatens to shatter the dome. The communication nodes were vital, keeping the localized Martian colonies synchronized with the central mainframe ships. Backup networks were activated across all quadrants, forcing the Matrix to maintain pressure despite external threat. The survival of the Vanguard relied entirely on these hidden sanctuaries of ice, hidden beneath a quarter-mile of solid Martian bedrock.
Silo breach in Sector 4. The enemy is targeting our primary water reserves from the upper atmosphere.
Lock the seal. Overload the secondary magnetic valves before the primary circuit blows. When dawn broke across the red frontier, the lines of science remained unbroken, holding the space vacuum at bay. The siege sequence was absolute, coordinated across multiple automated divisions to strike the core grid simultaneously. Move through the blind zones. The quantum sensors cannot track our armor through the heavy sand fallout. Load the secondary combustion payload. Target the primary dome support arches. The mechanical squadrons deployed. Iron monsters fueled by chemical fury charging directly into the western perimeter.
Total impact. The defense forces answered with absolute force and detonating the Iron Vanguard in a single second.
The weapon is obsolete. The chemical dust is dissolving the internal quantum fuel rods. Fall back to the trench.
The outer lines collapsed. The Iron Hunters reclaimed the canyon floor, forcing a total blackout across the sector.
Signal is blinded. The chemical cloud has blocked our connection to the mainframe ship. We are entirely isolated.
Quantum discharge. The West answered with absolute fire, vaporizing the landing Vanguard in a single blinding instant.
They think their orbital grid makes them kings of space. But the Earth still belongs to the elements. Release the secondary reserves.
If they want total war, then we will poison the sky until their new sun goes dark forever.
The sky was poisoned. The chemical armada launched its final deterrent, preparing to choke the quantum eyes of the West. When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a landscape of displacement glass and chemical ash. The quantum frontier ended not in victory, but in a divided world. A cold peace maintained by They built their peace on atoms and chemicals, but they forgot that the core they thought they destroyed was waiting to shock them from the shadows.
The quantum frontier concludes, and the final resurgence begins.
The interception was live. The Eastern remnants deployed their fastest tactical aircraft to breach the Western airspace grid.
Flood the secondary combustion pipes. Push the speed past the absolute line of structural tolerance. Barrier breached. The chemical Vanguard pierced the invulnerable Western shield with raw, mechanical force.
A catastrophic strike. The Western surveillance node was erased in a single blinding instant of toxic combustion.
When the smoke cleared, the frontier was compromised. The lines of current had snapped. Orbital telemetry stabilized. The Space Vanguard secured the planetary perimeter, prepared to deploy the next matrix node. A multi-dimensional core framework operating independent of external mass, creating an invulnerable energy shield across the installation.
Subterranean contact. The enemy has bypassed our geological scanners, breaching the perimeter defense lines from below.
Engage the primary kinetic anchors. Drive the Vanguard directly into their central communications grid.
The shadow of the old world occupied the cosmos.
Production lines were overcharged, mass-producing the specialized combustion munitions required to neutralize the Western code fields.
The refinery tower is compromised. Toxic fluid has breached the clean water line. Containment is failing.
The nonlinear synchronization reached maximum density, forcing the local timelines to lock down before the physical bombardment reached the core gates.
The outer perimeters have collapsed. Force the secondary quartz breakers to maximum capacity. Freeze the sector now.
The siege crawlers breached the inner sanctuary. Total structural damage across the primary shield network. Chronos Shield fully locked. Temporal trajectory bending active. All incoming ballistic assets permanently deflected. Dome held. The forest sector was secured under the Chronos Shield. The combustion siege was repelled, leaving the New World Order unbroken.